So we are preparing for dinner right now. I just went to nearby store to get this okra. See how fresh this okra looks, honestly. Immediately I saw this okra in the shop, I was like, oh, I must surely make okra soup. Although I did not really plan to make okra soup today. I was like, since the okra is very fresh, so I decided to cook okra soup for dinner. So this is when I was just preparing to cook the soup. I was like, okay, let me just drink water first because I was so thirsty. My baby came around to ask for water. So I gave him the water. Immediately he finished drinking it, he went back to the living room while I was in the kitchen preparing to prepare dinner for them. So this is the chicken that I brought out. I wanted to make pepper soup. I later changed my mind. I set it as I took it away from there. I return it back to the freezer. Next time I will cook the pepper soup. So I have to brought out a bowl I'm going to use to wash the okra. I said, okay, let me just first of all clean up the bowl before I will pour in the okra there. So after cleaning up the bowl, I have to pour in the okra. I added a little bit of salt to wash the okra properly. So immediately I finished washing, this is when I was just washing it to make sure that I wash it. So immediately I finished washing it, this is when I started by chopping up the okra. This is when I was just cutting the okra. So this is the first batch. I have to put in a plate and set it aside. So this is the second batch. Because this particular second batch, I would like to use blender to blend this second batch because I want it to be smooth. While the other one, I will not use blender for it. That one will come in last. Yeah. So this one I have to pour in the okra in the blender. I plug in the blender. This is when it was blending. So I waited for the okra to finish blending. I have to put it in a plate and set it aside. This is the chili pepper that I'm going to use to prepare the okra. I have to wash it, make sure that I wash it properly. I pour it in a blender. I blended it roughly. I don't really want it to blend smooth, so that it will be in okra soup. There's a way it always looks like in okra soup. So after blending the pepper, I set it aside. I went straight to clean up the blender. After cleaning it up, I have to put it aside and clean up the knife and other. This is the fish that I'm going to use to prepare the okra. I have to pour in the fish and wash it. I make sure that I wash it properly. So immediately I finish washing the fish. I wash it about twice, yeah. I set it aside. This is the prawn. I have to wash out the prawn. This is when I was just washing the prawn. Immediately I finish washing the prawn, I put in a plate and also set it aside. I wash it properly. So this one I was just this goat meat. I wanted to use this goat meat to prepare this okra soup. I have to wash the goat meat, but I later changed my mind that I don't want to use the goat meat again. Although I have already washed it, I have to wash it. This one I make sure that I wash it properly. I did not let her use the goat meat for the okra. I set it aside. So it is time for us to make the sauce for the okra. I added in a little bit of palm oil, an onion, and the chop blended chili pepper. I have to add a little bit of water and cover it, and also salt and seasoning. So it is time for me to put the fish. This is when I was just putting the fish inside. So after putting the fish, I was like, I don't really think that this pot will be enough, will be able to be, to contain in this okra. It's too small for this soup. I brought out another pot. I have to pour in the fish in another pot. So after pouring, I added a little bit of water inside the second pot and raise it. I pour it there and cover it. So it is time for me to put the prawn. This one I was just adding it in. So immediately I finish adding it in, I have to stir it a little bit and cover it, allow it to boil before I brought in the okra. I added the last one. This is it. I have to add in the onion and stir it a little bit because I don't really want the fish to scatter. So the food is now ready now. The soup is ready. So I have to dish out the soup and set it aside. I was like, okay, which type of swallow do we need to use to eat this okra soup now? So I have a whole meal. I have to prepare it. This when I was just fetching up the water. I put it on the fire. So this when I was just preparing the swallow. So after prepare this, when I was after turning it, it is now ready. I have to pour it in a plate. The pot that I used for the swallow, I took it straight to the sink. I added some water and soak it, so it will be easy for me if I finish cooking. It will be easy for me to wash. So the soup is now ready now. So I tested it when I was in the kitchen. So I took it straight to the living room. We are now eating. Thank you guys for watching. Can you like and follow? See you in my next